demand. Introduction. The law of demand was introduced by Professor Alfred Marshall in his books Principles of Economics, published in 1890. The law explains the functional relationship between price and quantity demanded. Statement of the law. According to Alfred Marshall, other things being equal, higher the price of commodity, smaller is the quantity demanded, and lower the price of commodity, larger is the quantity demanded. In other words, other factors remaining constant, if the price of commodity rises, demand for it falls, and when the price of commodity falls, demand for the commodity rises. Thus, there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. It can be graphically represented with the help of following schedule and diagram. Demand schedule. As you can see in the given table, when price of a commodity X is Rs 50, quantity demanded is 1 kg. When price falls from Rs 50 to Rs 40, quantity demanded rises from 1 kg to 2 kg. Similarly, at price Rs 30, quantity demanded is 3 kg. And when the price falls from Rs 20 to Rs 10, quantity demanded rises from 4 kg to 5 kg. Thus, as the price of commodity falls, quantity demanded rises, and when prices of commodity rises, quantity demanded falls. This shows an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. In the figure, x-axis represents the demand for the commodity. Y-axis represents the price of the commodity. DD is the demand curve. The demand curve slopes downwards from left to right. In other words, its slopes is negative because of inverse relationship between price and demand. Assumptions of law of demand. Point number 1. Constant level of income. Point number 2. No change in size of population. Point number 3. Prices of substitute goods remain constant. Point number 4. Prices of complementary goods remain constant. Point number 5. No expectation about future change in prices. Point number 6. No change in taste, habits, preferences, fashion, etc. Point number 7. No change in taxation policy. Assumptions of law of demand. Constant level of income. Income of consumer should remain constant. If there is any change in income, demand tends to change, even though the price is constant. For example, if income increases, people will demand more quantity of a commodity even at a higher price. If the law of demand is to find true operate, then consumers' income should remain constant. If there is a rise in income, people may demand more at a given price. No change in size of population. The law assumes that there should not be any change in the size and composition of population, because a change in population will bring about a change in demand, even if the price remains same. It is assumed that the size of population remain unchanged. Any change in the size and composition of population of a country affects the total demand for the product. Price of substitute goods remains constant. Substitutes are the next best alternative goods for a particular commodity. They are aimed at satisfying the same want or desire. Example, if the price of tea increases, then demand for tea will fall, but the demand for coffee will increase accordingly. It is assumed that the prices of substitutes remain unchanged. Any change in the price of the substitute will affect the demand for the commodity. Complementary goods remains constant. Complementary goods are those goods which jointly satisfy a particular demand. Example, car and petrol. If the price of car falls, the demand for petrol increases. The price of these complementary goods remain constant, and any change in their price will have direct effect on demand for others. It is assumed that the prices of complementary goods remain unchanged because a change in the price of one good will affect the demand for the other. No expectation about future change in price. There should not be any change in the expectations about the prices of goods in future. If consumer expects that price will rise or fall in the future, they will change their present demand though price is constant. If there is a fear of shortage of good in the future, its demand will increase in present as people would start storing. It is assumed that consumers do not expect any further change in the price in the near future. If consumers expect a rise in the prices in future, they may demand more in the present, even at existing high price. No change in taste, habits, preferences, fashion, etc. Taste, habits, customs, traditions, preferences, etc. play a major role in influencing consumer demand. Example, people tend to buy more of trendy clothes as per the changing fashion, even at a higher price. Hence, it is assumed that taste, habits, etc. must remain constant. It is assumed that consumers' tastes, habits, preferences, fashions, etc. should remain unchanged. Any change in these factors will lead to a change in demand. No change in taxation policy. The government policy is also assumed to remain constant because any change in government policy will affect the consumer's demand. Example, increase in income tax would decrease the consumer's disposable income and thereby lowering the market demand. Hence, taxation and fiscal policy of government is assumed to remain constant. Taxation policy of the government has a great impact on demand for various goods and services. Therefore, it is assumed that there is no change in the policy of taxation declared by government.